All right, hello wine drinking people. Time for more of what I've had to drink yesterday. And our biggest tasting of the year, our Jed Steele dinner just happened last night. And Jed is a good friend, and we've been doing dinners with him since 1990 when he was plying his trade at Kendall Jackson Winery. And Jed's been making wine longer than I've been alive. I always joke with him about that. In 1968, he started at Stony Hill Winery, and he saw Kendall Jackson from a small little winery in Lake County become one of the largest wineries in the world. 3 million cases of Vintners Reserve Chardonnay alone. And then he said, man, I want to get my hands back into winemaking again. And Jed met some of the top growers in California. And still to this day, I don't think he owns a grapevine, but he has access to some of the greatest fruit in California. In his home, Lake County, home to some of the best Sauvignon Blanc in California. And one of the things you're going to find with Jed's wines is value. This wine's $11.50 on this offering. An incredible value, really fresh style of Sauvignon Blanc. You get that lovely melon, gooseberry, a hint of fig in there. And on the palate, man, just leaves your tongue salivating for food. Fantastic. With the oysters with the mignonette last night, the foie gras may have been a little sweet for that Sauvignon Blanc, but it cleaned up that sweetness, the acidity, one of the things that helps Sauvignon Blanc go so great with food. And Jed always likes to give you more than enough. We had a red wine also, his shooting star, Blue Franc, which Blue Franc is a Lemberger, which is an Austrian varietal. Who the hell grows that here? But, Jed kind of had developed an affinity for it on one of his trips to Austria. This wine has got, it's better served chilled, I think. It's got a lovely freshness to it. This kind of blueberry, blackberry fruit, a little bit of a peppery spice and some cinnamon on there also. A really nice little wine, soft tannins, a really easy drinking red, a nice way to start out the evening like we did last night. And then a little Wahoo spring roll, man, with a little bit of sweet chili knock sham, outstanding with the Sauvignon Blanc or the Pinot Blanc that we had, which this wine, Jed calls it his baby Chardonnay, some nice tropical fruit, little peach and melon showing in here, and just a hint of oak spice, but a very fresh and clean wine, and a really nice wine with raw fish, as we saw on this occasion. And then my favorite dish of the evening, the sterling beef carpaccio, little croutons with like brown sugar and walnuts in them. Oh, man, delicious with the spice from the Pinot Noir. This Writer's Block Pinot Noir 2009, one of the best values I have had this year. It is a pretty light style Pinot, but has some lovely spice to it, lovely brown spice and lovely freshness. It's basically declassified Bien Nacido and Good Child vineyard fruit, so two awesome vineyards for Pinot Noir. Jed just felt like, man, this year, for some reason, the fruit just was not good enough to put in his $35 single vineyard bottlings, so he made a Writer's Block Pinot out of this for a stupid price. Like I said, $14.50. One of the best values that I've had all year. And next up, the sea scallop dish with Steele's new wine, the Outcast. And who would think of putting sea scallops with a red wine? Oliver Saucy with that mole and sweet corn kind of succotash with that, and a little bit of short rib, some spice in there also, man. Chipotle, really nice with this Outcast red, which these people in Lake County feel like outcasts. After all, it's one of the few places you can be dropped off for free after you were incarcerated in the penal institution in California. Lake County. Whoop, there they are. They're coming to get us. Okay. Well, I went up there to visit Jed after he bought the old Canoctai winery. That's when he first, had his own winery up there. He'd been making wine somewhere else. And, I felt like it was like a scene from the movie Deliverance driving up there, man. A little bit scary, but they have some great vineyards up there. And Jed, the master blender, came up with this one. His marketing staff came up with a bottling. Kind of cool with the motorcycle on the label. But Syrah, Zinfandel, Petit Syrah, Barbera, and Petit Verdot. How does that work together? Well, Jed Steele is the master. This wine has some lovely ripe berry fruit to it, some nice spice to it too, probably from the Zinfandel, which worked really well with the spice in this scallop dish, and really nice freshness to the wine. All of Jed's wines are going to be lower in alcohol, much more savory, much more drinkable, and you really want a second glass of all of these wines. And then the braised lamb Asabuco and the Philo Purse over the wild mushroom melody. Man, that wine was just rocking with the Seven Hills Cabernet Sauvignon, and not a big blockbuster in terms of big and oaky and sweet. You're not going to find that in any of Jed's wines. Just really nice balance, lovely red currant fruit, a lovely richness to this wine. This is all Beckstoffer fruit. Andy Beckstoffer is the largest grower of premier Cabernet Sauvignon in California, and he has even moved into Lake County, seeing the potential. You can buy land here for $10,000 an acre, which is ridiculous. You won't find prime quality vineyard land anywhere else in California at that price range. All right, and then a wine we've showed I don't know how many times, the Late Harvest dessert wine. This 97 Late Harvest Chardonnay just keeps getting better and better and better as it ages. It has this lovely apricot and peach and honey character to it now, something that these botrytis-sized wines get after they've been in the bottle for a long time. Just absolutely delicious. Made more like a Trockenbeer and Auchlase than a Sauternes, which means it's got more grams of residual sugar when they pick the grapes. And just really sweet, but has this lovely freshness to it. And just fantastic. Probably with that apple tartine, but I don't need dessert. I drink enough wine. Anyways, that's what we had to drink at our Jed Steele dinner. I'm your host, Andrew Lamposoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.